Picture this. You meet a woman and the spark feels immediate. The way she laughs, the way her eyes lock on yours, it all feels like destiny unfolding in front of you. Yet when the night ends, you realize she never once saw you in a sexual light. To her, you're just another guy, pleasant, kind, perhaps even boyfriend material, but not the man she craves. And that's where the mistake lies. Millions of men believe being endlessly polite, always safe, and constantly available will unlock a woman's deepest desires. But sexual obsession doesn't ignite from comfort alone. It thrives on tension, mystery, and the right balance between safety and excitement. She has to feel you are a man she can't fully figure out, yet one she can't resist. That's when her attraction shifts from mild curiosity into obsession. The brutal truth is that sexual attraction operates on an entirely different system than friendship or emotional closeness. The things that make her feel cared for and protected often smother the flames of sexual desire. Predictability makes her relax, but it doesn't make her pulse race. What excites her is the man who can blend stability with unpredictability, the man who offers emotional safety yet knows how to stir chaos at the right moments. This paradox is at the core of sexual obsession. Without tension, desire dies. Without safety, she resists. The art is knowing how to ignite both forces in balance. That's what separates the men she forgets from the men she fantasizes about. Society has conditioned men into a trap. Assertiveness gets labeled aggression, confidence gets painted arrogance, and desire itself gets shamed as creepiness. So men overcorrect, neutering their own masculine energy to appear acceptable. They suppress the exact qualities women are biologically wired to desire. Women crave masculine presence, not toxic domination, but raw, authentic power. They want leadership. They want decisiveness. They want a man who radiates certainty without begging for approval. When you hide these traits, you erase your sexual magnetism. And when magnetism disappears, so does her obsession. The man who makes her obsess isn't the one tiptoeing around his sexuality. He is comfortable with his desire, unashamed of it, unapologetic in his masculine energy. He doesn't wait for her permission to feel confident. His confidence exists with or without her. Women sense this instantly. If you need her approval to validate yourself, the power dynamic collapses. She stops seeing you as the prize and starts seeing you as another man desperate for validation. Sexual confidence is internal, not external. It's the energy of a man who would thrive whether she's in his life or not. That independence drives her crazy because it makes her chase you. Rejection is the silent killer of masculine energy, but only if you fear it. The man women obsess over is the man who can face rejection without flinching. He expresses desire directly and accepts any answer with dignity. That calm resilience is intoxicating. It shows he is unshaken by her decisions because his worth doesn't depend on her response. Women are drawn to men who can risk without collapsing. They crave the man who can put himself out there yet remain unbroken if she hesitates. That is strength, that is power, and power is sexy. Now here's the real twist. Respect and sexual intensity aren't opposites. They're two sides of the same magnet. The sexiest men know how to generate sexual tension while maintaining complete respect for boundaries. They escalate slowly, they read her signals, and they never push past her comfort. Yet they aren't afraid to lead. They guide her through tension with confidence, knowing each step builds anticipation. This blend of assertiveness and respect makes women lose control of their thoughts. It tells her, this man is dangerous, but safe, intense, yet grounded. That contradiction is what keeps her hooked. Every spark of obsession starts with emotional safety. If she doesn't feel safe, every attempt at sexual escalation feels threatening, not exciting. But once you establish trust through honesty, consistency, and reliability, you earn the right to turn up the heat. Emotional safety allows her to surrender into desire without fear. That's why the man who balances care with danger captures her in a way others never will. He makes her feel understood, yet he also makes her feel uncertain. That duality is what unlocks the craving. Without safety, there's resistance. Without excitement, there's no obsession. Together, they form the perfect storm. Escalation is an art form. You don't leap from casual conversation into sexual intensity. You climb the ladder one rung at a time. A subtle touch on her arm, a lingering look, a playful tease. Each move builds anticipation. Then, as she reciprocates, you go a step further. You let her feel your presence without overwhelming her. You create moments where intimacy could happen, but doesn't yet. That tension makes her imagination run wild. Anticipation often arouses her more than the act itself. The men she obsesses over know this truth better than anyone. Your body language speaks before you open your mouth. Confident posture, deliberate movements, and strong eye contact all radiate sexual authority. Women respond to these primal signals subconsciously. When you occupy space with certainty, you broadcast dominance without aggression. A man who moves with intent, who carries himself with unshakable calm, is infinitely more attractive than the one who shrinks into the background. It's not about size or intimidation, it's about presence. Your energy tells her whether to see you as prey or predator, as forgettable or irresistible. The obsessed version of her starts with the way you stand. Touch is your most powerful weapon, but it must be used like a master. Start with casual, socially acceptable contact, then slowly build intensity. Each touch should feel deliberate, confident, and intentional. The wrong touch feels invasive, but the right touch feels electric. When you combine confidence with sensitivity, she craves your hands on her. It's not just physical, it's psychological. The slow progression keeps her guessing what's next. That guessing game turns into obsession because every nerve in her body starts anticipating your touch. And once she wants it, she can't stop thinking about it. Her mind is your battlefield. Female desire is mental before it's physical. If you can stimulate her imagination, you own her obsession. Engage her in conversations that challenge her, tease her, and spark curiosity. Play with innuendos that let her mind wander to hidden possibilities. Suggest experiences without spelling them out. Let her fantasize about what might happen, not just what is happening. Give her images her brain can replay on loop long after you leave. That's how obsession takes root, in the space where her imagination collides with your energy. Predictability kills desire. If she always knows your next move, her obsession fades. Obsession thrives on mystery, on the sense that she hasn't fully unlocked you. Reveal yourself in layers. Share just enough to intrigue, but never everything. Keep parts of your story hidden so she yearns to discover more. When she realizes she can't fully categorize you, her curiosity transforms into hunger. It's not lies, it's pacing. And pacing is power. Sexual tension is the currency of desire. It's built through contrasts, interest and distance, closeness and withdrawal. You show her attention, then you pull back, letting her wonder what she means to you. You lean in, then step away, leaving her craving the next move. This push and pull makes her chase you because uncertainty breeds intensity. If you're always available, she feels no urgency. If you're never present, she feels no connection. Balance both, and she spirals into obsession. That's the psychology of tension. Women crave anticipation more than immediacy. The build-up, the waiting, the subtle promise of what's coming drives her wild. Tease her with the possibility of intimacy without rushing to claim it. Make her wonder when it will happen, how it will happen, if it will happen. Delay the moment, and the tension grows unbearable. This is where obsession thrives, in the waiting game. Anticipation fuels imagination, and imagination fuels desire. The man who makes her wait becomes the man she can't forget. Emotional intensity is her drug. Bland interactions lull her into boredom. But when you stir her emotions, whether excitement, curiosity, or playful frustration, you create heat. Women equate emotional impact with sexual chemistry. If you can make her feel strongly, you can make her desire you. Safe and flat is forgettable. Sharp and intense is unforgettable. Obsession comes from the highs and lows, from the roller coaster she can't step off. Give her emotional intensity, and she will crave your presence endlessly. Words are weapons when used correctly. Subtle innuendo lets you plant sexual themes without being crude. Double meanings and playful hints make her mind race with possibilities. She should be able to interpret your words innocently, or let them stir her imagination. The key is confidence. When you speak with certainty, your words hit harder. When you tease with purpose, she feels the tension rise. Communication is more than words. It's tone, pace, and delivery. That's what makes your words unforgettable. Even your voice matters. A slow, deliberate, chest-driven tone communicates masculine power on a primal level. Women unconsciously associate deeper voices with strength and dominance. You don't have to fake it, you just have to own it. Speak with authority, pause with intent, and let silence create weight. Every syllable should make her lean in closer. The way you speak can turn a casual interaction into sexual electricity. Confidence in your voice creates confidence in her obsession, and obsession is the goal. Eye contact is one of the most primal tools you possess. When done right, it creates sexual electricity without a single word. Hold her gaze longer than expected, just enough to stir her nerves. Look at her like you see through her defenses, like you already know what she's thinking. That intensity makes her vulnerable in ways she can't explain. Most men avoid this out of insecurity, but the ones who master it hold infinite power. Eye contact says everything words cannot. It's the silent language of desire, and it fuels obsession instantly. Scarcity makes you valuable. If you're always available, you're easily replaced. Women want what feels rare, what feels earned. When you fill your life with passions, priorities, and goals outside of her, she realizes your time isn't free. That scarcity forces her to compete for it, and competition breeds obsession. She should feel like she's earning your attention, not like you're giving it away out of desperation. The more valuable your time, the more obsessed she becomes with having it. That's the truth of desire. Social proof is another psychological weapon. Women desire men who are desired by others. It validates your worth through the eyes of her competition. You don't need to be surrounded by women to create this effect. Just demonstrate that you have options. Be comfortable in female company, be respected by your peers, and carry yourself like a man in demand. When she sees others drawn to you, her attraction multiplies. That external validation amplifies her obsession. She wants the man other women want, but she wants him only for herself. Independence is the cornerstone of obsession. If she feels you need her to feel complete, the desire fades. But when you live a life of passion, purpose, and fulfillment apart from her, she feels the challenge. She realizes she must win you over rather than complete you. That shift flips the script of desire. Women obsess over men who don't need them because that independence screams value. You are the prize, and she must chase it. That chase is what consumes her thoughts. Variety keeps the flame alive. Predictable routines breed boredom, but surprises create excitement. Take her somewhere new, challenge her to try something different, create moments that stand out in her memory. Associate yourself with adventure, not monotony. Switch your energy between playful and serious, light-hearted and intense. Complexity makes her crave more. When she can't fully pin you down, she stays hooked. Depth attracts, variety keeps. That's how obsession is built. Risk-taking signals courage. When you step outside your comfort zone, you radiate leadership. Women are magnetized to men who dare to take risks intelligently. It might be in decisions, experiences, or simply the way you carry yourself. Risk shows fearlessness. Fearlessness is sexy. When she sees you challenge the unknown without flinching, her respect turns into fascination. That fascination fuels desire, and that desire becomes obsession. Physical escalation must always be smooth. Start small, observe her comfort, then increase intensity only when invited by her reactions. The art lies in knowing when to pause, when to push, and when to let her anticipate. Rushing breaks the moment. Pacing builds it. Touch is not just physical, it's psychological conditioning. Done correctly, it associates your presence with excitement and craving. Done poorly, it kills attraction instantly. Master pacing, and you master her mind. Recognize the signs of real sexual interest. She may initiate touch, lean closer, maintain proximity, or show subtle cues like dilated pupils and faster breathing. These are green lights, but don't confuse politeness for desire. Many men make this mistake and destroy the dynamic. Learn the difference between comfort and craving. Craving means she wants more. Comfort means she's fine staying where things are. Obsession only grows when you escalate in response to genuine interest. That's the key. Vulnerability can deepen obsession if timed right. Reveal too much too soon and you smother the tension. Reveal nothing and you block emotional intimacy. The art is in showing depth gradually, layering strength with subtle vulnerability. This makes you more human, more real, more irresistible. She begins to feel both safe and challenged at the same time. That paradox triggers obsession. Timing vulnerability makes her crave both your strength and your softness. Together, they form an addictive combination. Long-term obsession requires evolution. If you stagnate, she loses interest. Keep growing, keep challenging yourself, keep leveling up. A man in motion is always attractive. He radiates ambition, drive, and hunger. Those traits never lose their sex appeal. Women want men who rise higher with time. The higher you rise, the harder she clings. That's how long-term obsession survives. Authenticity is the ultimate key. You can't fake true confidence forever. You must actually become the man you portray. Work on your body, your mind, your lifestyle. Build genuine self-respect. When you glow from within, you no longer need tricks. Tricks may spark desire for a moment, but authenticity sustains it. The obsessed version of her will only appear for the authentic version of you. That's the truth. Respect is non-negotiable. Sexual confidence without respect is dangerous and repelling. Women obsess over men who can dominate without disrespect, lead without coercion, and ignite passion without manipulation. The strongest men are those who balance raw desire with dignity. They create fire while maintaining trust. They drive women wild while keeping them safe. That balance is irresistible. Without it, obsession never lasts. Reading her signals is everything. Watch her breathing, her touch, her eyes, her body language. These unspoken cues guide your every move. If she leans in, escalate. If she pulls back, slow down. This awareness makes you a master. It shows you care not just about your own needs, but hers as well. That sensitivity builds trust, and trust fuels deeper desire. The man who reads her signals owns her obsession. Sexual intimacy is a partnership, not a conquest. The men who obsess women prioritize mutual pleasure. They explore, adjust, and adapt to her reactions. They slow down when needed, speed up when invited, and listen with more than ears. They listen with their presence. This makes women feel understood in a way that electrifies them. When she feels her pleasure matters, she invests more into yours. That synergy deepens the obsession. Pleasure given becomes pleasure returned tenfold. Transparency kills the need for games. The man who openly expresses attraction earns her trust. He doesn't hide behind friendship, he doesn't disguise his intentions. He states them clearly, yet respectfully. That honesty builds safety and fuels chemistry. Women crave men who know what they want and aren't afraid to declare it. Clarity builds trust, and trust opens the door to passion. Obsession grows in the soil of honesty. Lies and games kill it instantly. Mutual pleasure creates lasting obsession. When you focus on her enjoyment, she feels valued. When she feels valued, she invests more in your connection. This feedback loop builds stronger desire. Many men fail here, consumed by their own needs, but the ones who win her mind and body are those who make her satisfaction a priority. That generosity builds loyalty, passion, and obsession. She won't just want you, she'll crave you endlessly. That's the difference. The ultimate truth is this: obsession isn't created through manipulation. It's created through mastery of yourself. Become confident, ambitious, emotionally intelligent, and respectful. Build authentic power and live as a man of value. Women obsess over men who don't try to convince them, but instead embody magnetism naturally. It's not tricks, it's transformation. Transform yourself, and obsession follows. The men women dream of aren't actors. They're authentic. They've built their confidence through discipline, their magnetism through growth, their dominance through practice. They understand that obsession isn't forced, it's earned. Every quality they radiate comes from the work they've put in behind the scenes. That authenticity shines brighter than any rehearsed line or fake bravado, and it makes women chase them endlessly. True obsession comes from truth. Nothing else lasts. In the end, obsession is not about perfection. It's about becoming unapologetically masculine, confident, and emotionally sharp. Women crave the man who doesn't fold under pressure, who balances respect with intensity, who knows his value without asking for it. They want the man who makes their heart race and their mind spin. The man who lives in their thoughts long after he's gone. That man could be you, but only if you choose to embody everything written here. Obsession isn't taught, it's lived. And once you live it, women won't just want you, they'll crave you.